as these clouds are moving. Wow. I decided not to make a video of it because it'd be kind of pointless to make a video, but it's not really that much. There will be a video of it eventually because I'm going to have to change that case because that case is basically ruined. Backup server there, as you can see right there, I added the 6th drive to it, and I am now running rsync, which is running just fine. And that's going to take a long time because it's basically got 2 terabytes worth of data that it needs to transfer. So, fun times. I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but recently we got a nice little internet bandwidth increase. It's not much. It's actually supposed to be 50 on the download as opposed to 34, but I don't think you can actually get 50. That's the best I've actually seen it. I was looking at it because this thing over here was just being really slow, and I thought there was an internet issue, but no, this thing is just being slow. But the big thing that happened, a couple of things. I lost a video card. If you noticed, I had a big, I guess it wasn't big. You might have seen it in some of my clips. There was a GeForce 8800 GT. I think it was a GT. It might have been a GTS or a GS. I don't actually remember. I'll check and I'll go put it in the video description or something if I remember. But I had a video card sitting there. I tried to put it into something, and the card did not work. So either it was dead before, or I managed to kill it by leaving it sitting out, waiting for a project. So whatever. Secondary monitor over here. I have a problem with things sitting in the bed area. If there's loose things, I tend to pick it up in my sleep and throw it. So, yeah, this heatsink right here was sitting, I think it was sitting right there, and I picked it up and tossed it. And what you know, of course, it has to hit the monitor and breaks the screen. Yeah, this is a monitor with DVI and VGA, and I don't have any monitors that have DVI, so I can't replace this monitor. So now I've only got one screen on my main computer. So got rid of my nice matching LG monitors. I have to figure out a way to replace that because I kind of miss having my second screen. But the biggest one that really kind of ticked me off, I don't even know what happened, but I used to have a Model M2 sitting right here. It's actually over there on the floor because it stopped working. Went to go use my computer, and it just didn't respond. It doesn't even feel right, to be honest with you. So, I don't know what happened, but I unplugged it, plugged it back in, and all of these lights just started going crazy, flashing. And I tried it with a different computer, too, and it still didn't make a difference. So, my nice Model M keyboard died on me. Had to get a replacement for that. I did find one. The bad news is it cost me about $150 when you factor in all the shipping and all that stuff. So hopefully that'll get here eventually, but until then I'm stuck with Mr. Squishy over here that's missing a whole bunch of keys. I'm going to have to remap some keys so I can replace these arrows. I had both of these keys. I don't know where they went. They just kind of disappeared. And I can't use keys off of another Keytronic because the ones from the newer design keyboards, where do I have that? I got it right here. They don't actually work. They're too shallow. And this, somebody broke this. I don't know how they did it, but they, when I found it, it was in pieces. The top cover was off, and the heatsink had fallen off of the chip, so that's probably not good for it. It wasn't plugged in at the time, so that's probably the only reason why it still works. But I'll have to see if there's any lasting damage. If not, that's a $25 frickin' switch that I gotta replace now. Oh, it's just been really one thing after the other, honestly. At the very least, this green SSD that I purchased actually works fine. I haven't had any issues with it yet. That's in my SLI machine down there. Although I haven't been really using that machine lately. It's been on a couple of times. But like I said, this works fairly decently. I think it's a genuine Western Digital SSD, despite the fact that it was like 20 bucks, which I'm sure is not the retail price for these. I didn't even know Western Digital made green SSDs. I knew about the blue ones, but I didn't know about these green ones. Gotta love virtualization. This has been going for over 24 hours now, and it still says more than 1 day. That's terrible. This is over a gigabit network connection, too. Well, this sucks. Got my replacement board in, which is this one right here. That allowed me to determine two things. Number one is that my i7 chip right here, this i7 870, is bad. And also on top of that, this motherboard is bad. So that's brilliant. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about that, because I really don't know. But the surprising thing about this is the cooler that it came with, which I've only got plugged in to satisfy a CPU fan requirement, and also to see if the system actually works, because without the fan you really can't tell. I have this big massive cooler on this. When I got it over here, it was running at like 80 degrees when I first checked it out, and that was shortly after powering it on. I was like, what the hell? It's got a cooler on it. What's going on? So I don't really know if it's because of the really kind of dried up thermal paste on there or what. But this is a really tiny cooler. So I just put this bigger cooler on it, which I was going to put on the i7 anyway. And now, even without a fan, it's at 50 degrees, which I think is much better than like 80. So I am going to take the fan out of that thing down there and put it on this, just so I can have the blue fan on the Intel and the red fan on the AMD, because I'm a sucker for details like that for whatever reason. This is the RAM that it came with. Should be a decent little test stick. And this RAM actually works, unlike the other stick. So what I'm going to do is, and there will be videos about all this stuff, but this i5 650 right here, that's what's on that board, with its 4 gigs of RAM, it's going to go in there and replace the i5 2300 and that i5, because even that 2300 is better than the A10 APU that's in there. I get a video card, and or I might not even put a video card in it, at least right now, but it'll probably get a video card eventually. Put it in there, take the APU, put that into my wireless bridge machine, and take the i5 3570 that's in the wireless bridge, because it's got the smaller heatsink, and put it in my Linux test machine, which is what I wanted to upgrade in the first place, and then we can figure out a bunch of other stuff after that. I've got some more board swaps I want to do. I got a Q8400 sitting around that I probably ought to use for something, among other things. But I'm going to power this down and sit it out of the way so I can work on some other stuff. Because I have an HP laptop sitting somewhere that needs a hard drive change, because it's got a 500 gig hard drive in it right now, and that's way too big. It doesn't need that at all. Something is going to end up getting this SSD. I don't know what. I think this might actually go into the Windows 10, that thing with the E350 APU. It's because that thing's a piece of junk. So we can speed it up however we can. Every little bit helps, right? I really hate Windows 10 sometimes. Here's the program running. Nothing is going on. There is nothing happening. And yet I can't access the program because it's not showing up in the system tray. I've tried opening and closing it 4 times now. Like, what does this thing thinks it's doing? Like, let's go. I swear, Windows Millennium Edition is better than this. So at least it reboots pretty quickly. You know, like, it's just sitting here. It's not doing a damn thing. This was a solved problem. We had this figured out, Microsoft. All you have to do is bring back Windows 7 and just add a couple of enhancements to it, and it would have been fine. But no, they feel the need every freaking time they release an operating system to rewrite the whole thing from the ground up, and it doesn't frickin' work. Look at what we had with Windows 8. They busted everything with that, and now they've busted everything even further with Windows 10. All this crap. I don't understand. Oh, Windows 10 works great for me. I don't care. It doesn't work, and this is the common experience. This should have been done 20 minutes ago. But yet it's not, because this thing is wasting my time. I hate putting rants in videos, but seriously, this is dreadful. And like I said, it's the common experience with Windows 10. Every time you go to do anything, there's always a snag, there's always a glitch, there's always a problem. Every time. At least I managed to get this far with it. To know that the drive is bad. Seriously, all of that friggin' waiting just for that. I guess to wrap this up, this showed up today. The listing was for gold, but this is what it looked like in the picture, and I really don't care. Because I think this actually comes with more accessories that are useful. It's not really worth making a whole video about, though. So there it is, installed and working. I have it plugged into the computer now. You can see it's running over there. And this is what the output looks like. Could be worse, but it could be a lot better. That's already running at 1024 by 768, which is about the lowest resolution that I would really want to do. Has some buttons here. This is the zoom feature. I can't see what I'm doing, which is great. Which makes it easy to see things, although I don't think that quite did what I wanted it to do. No, I didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. It wasn't really what I had in mind. And it's very... controls are very touchy. Of course, it's got the overscan right on the thing itself, and the remote control has got a couple of things on it. It's actually really nice. You can freeze it. And that, and so even though that's changed, the output has not. So that's really neat. I like that. It does have some other controls. I'm not going to play with them because it seems to do some weird things with that capture card. That capture card doesn't really work properly, so... Of course, you can turn it off. Turn it back on. It's instantaneous. Everything works the way that it's supposed to. Alright. So I think that's going to conclude this video.